I was very happy when we got ahead 30-20 with about, I don't know, 10 minutes left in the, maybe less than that, 8 minutes left in the half. It might have been less than that. Then Nigel Pack went down, and then nothing went right. It's kind of been the story all season long. We play well for a while. We're up 30-20, Nigel goes down. Halftime it's 32-28. Second half, they play terrific. You got to give them a lot of credit. And I think it's much easier to play offense when the other team can't make a shot. We shot 6 of 27 from 3, that's 22%, and 33% overall. When you can't make shots, you can't score the ball. We had 32 at halftime, and we end up the game with 57. Not a good night at the offensive end, and our defense, which was very good in the first half, was not very good in the second.
What do you make of it offensively, either shot selection, the shots you're getting? I mean, just what do you think went wrong?
Well, some of the shots just went in and out. It looked like a good shot, looked like it was going in, and then it rimmed out. And then we had several late in the game where we got it right to the rim and it missed. And we got the rebound right at the rim and missed again. And I got the rebound again and missed again. You know, I think it's unfortunate for these guys to have, you know, gone through this. Maybe in their life there'll be a lot more challenges and adversity, but right now for a college basketball player to lose as many as we have in a row, very challenging and frustrating and disappointing for everybody.
Jim, coming off last year, I mean, there was just so much energy on the team and the way the team was playing with so much confidence, so much energy. It just seems, as an outsider looking at the team, there isn't that, I don't know, that hunger, that energy, that attention to detail, leadership, all of those things that made last year's team so good, ball movement. What happened, do you think?
Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller graduated. Because now the game comes down to players, you know. So last year, if we needed a bucket, I went right to Isaiah or Jordan, one of those two guys, and invariably they would deliver. All right? We don't really have that this year, haven't had it all season long, where, you know, we need a bucket down the stretch. Who do we go to? This year it's been, you know, guys wanting to take on that role of Isaiah Wong or Jordan Miller, but you really have to have the skill set because, you know, you don't just score. You got to really have the skills to put the ball in the basket time after time after time. And we just really haven't had that this year.
At the beginning of the year, you were very hopeful about Wooga. You know, I remember preseason, a lot of the things you were saying about him. He started strong, then he got injured. Was it just the injury, or did something else happen to him upstairs, or what?
I think you'd have to ask him that, because you can't know how much pain a guy is in. Oh, so he sprained his ankle. He was obviously out for several games during that time. When you come back and the ankle's still not 100% healthy, you know, you're trying to figure out in your mind, plus it was the first time he'd ever been hurt, first time he ever had a sprained ankle. So he's dealing with the mental and emotional side, where you put pressure on yourself because, hey, I had a great December, I want to have a great January too, but I'm not 100%, and then you miss a couple of shots, now your confidence, you start to question, you know, should I have taken that shot or what have you, and then we lose some games, and all of a sudden as a team, you're not as confident. And you're trying to figure out, as a coach, who do we go to right now? Wooga was going to be the guy we go to in these situations, and he's not 100%. And then Nigel's also out. I mean, think about it. Wooga got hurt on December 29th. And then Nigel and Norchad sprained their ankle against Wake Forest in our second game of the new year. Right? We'd only played 2 games. We beat Clemson at home, looked good, a good team, had, I think, 19 assists or made a ton of threes. We looked like the team that we wanted to be. But you don't have Wooga, Nigel gets hurt, you don't have Norchad, where are we going to get our points from? Bensley's certainly not going to score 25. He'd like to, be nice if he could, but that's not his role. He's a point guard. He's got to get other guys in. Norchad, he's already dealing with a size discrepancy every night where he's a big guy himself, but he's hurt now. He's got a sprained ankle and he's trying to fight back. And you know, it comes down to the war of attrition. You know, all you have to do is look at any other team that loses. Not if you only lose one guy, that's a little different. Right? We were without Wooga. We still beat Clemson. But then we're without Wooga, and then Nigel sprains his ankle, Norchad sprains his ankle. Like, we're out without 3 starters, and the young guys have no experience. You know, we're using Keyshawn George, who's going to be a very good player, but he's only, at that time, we played 11 non-conference games. We're like 13 games into his career, and we're still trying to figure out if we should play him at the point, the 2, the 3, or the 4. I mean, it's that early in his career. And Michael Nowako, the same way. We're trying to figure out, you know, exactly how to utilize him. And he's trying to figure out, how do I stay in the game without fouling, because it's so physical down there. So if I had the answers as to why, I mean, I would have obviously used those. We tried a lot of different things and different lineups. But the fact of the matter is, people have disparaged the ACC. And I think our league is very, very good and very deep. Boston College, Quinten Post is a pro. I mean, he's an NBA guy. He probably won't get drafted because he's older, but he can shoot the 3, he can post up, he's got a great jump hook, he rebounds the ball, and he knows how to play. Right? So they have an anchor to their offense that can be moved from the low post to the top of the key, which is really what you want. It's why we've tried to help Norchad advance his game. So Norchad can now play in around the basket, but he can also move out onto the perimeter and shoot a 3. So today, he was 4 for 11 from the field and only 1 for 4 from 3. So, and he was only 1 for 4 from the foul line. So that's not a typical shooting game for him. Now, it was senior day, his family was here. How do I determine as a coach whether that's a factor? I don't know if that was a distraction for him, or he put more pressure on himself. You know, as a coach, you can only deal with the circumstance you have at that moment. Like when we fell behind by 10, I called a timeout and went to full court pressure, hoping that would kind of energize us and the crowd and maybe get a couple of, and we had some perfect opportunities and then just missed the shot. We made those shots, down 4, Bensley shooting 3. If it cuts it to 1, now we're up pressing, now it might be a different ending. But he missed the shot, then Matt Cleveland went coast to coast and missed a left-hand layup. He's trying to make the shot. I thought he got fouled, but it doesn't get called, so it's not a foul. Then Norchad gets the offensive rebound, he misses. So, you know, I've been very, very fortunate to be a part of a lot of great teams, both as a head coach and as an assistant. And I tell every team I ever was the head coach to, the hardest job on the team are the subs. They don't know when they're going in. They don't know how long they're going to play. They have to try to maintain their positive energy and their confidence, knowing that I might get in, I might not. And if I go in, I might only get in for a minute or 2 and then come out. A great example is Michael Nowako. He comes in, he gets 7 points in the first half and looks really good. Right? In the second half, we're pressing and he's not pressing quite hard enough, so I got to take him out. Whereas a guy like Ja'Kai Robinson, he comes in, gives us some great effort defensively, makes a little 15-foot jumper, but he's not a scorer. He's not a guy that is going to get double figures or take 10 shots. Oh, that's a long answer. I don't even remember what your question was.
Last year, you guys were in the Final Four. You lost.
We were?
Yeah. You lost.
Oh, I remember that now.
You lost some players, and now you're 15-15. But what's the mindset going into your last game and possibly even next season?
Well, I don't think about next season. I'm just going to get ready for Florida State. At Florida State, they really handle us here. Their defense and their size really bothers us. I mean, they're very, very quick. They're long. They got like 3 7-footers or 6'11" guys that can block shots and dunk the ball on you. They're a very hard matchup for us defensively. So I say all that, and I don't know how we're going to play. If we start making some threes, we're very, very capable of going on a roll ourselves. We show up on Saturday, and it's no longer senior day. We're just on the road getting ready to play basketball. And then after that game, it's survive and advance.
Does it help having such a big rivalry game, for the final game of the season? Do you think that helps? No.
Quite honestly, it hasn't been a rivalry. They've handled us so often for the last 5-6 years that we have not been able to figure out the formula for beating them. We've come very close to closer to beating teams like Carolina and Duke,
Yeah.
Clemson, and I think this year, if I remember correctly, we had beaten Boston College 4 times in a row. We had beaten Clemson 3 times in a row. We beat Carolina 3 times in a row, 2 or 3 times in a row. So there's certain teams you match up with better and can play better. Florida State's not been one of those.
One more.
Yeah, Jim, Nigel and Norchad were honored before the game. We didn't ask you yesterday, but if this is their last home game here,
I hope it's not. I don't want them to remember their time at Miami as this being the last one.
Yeah, can you speak on that this season compared to what they did last year, just what they've given to this program, and what do you hope them?
Well, first of all, my congratulations to Norchad Omier on winning the Skip Prosser Student Athlete of the Year award. It's a tremendous honor. And I think we all know who Skip Prosser was, and my wife and I were very close friends with he and his wife. And, for Norchad to win that and to be honored with that, I think he receives the award at the ACC tournament. But when Charlie Moore and Sam Mordenberg graduated, my staff's goal was to try to find someone who could fill those shoes, because they were very big shoes, because we had gotten to the Elite Eight. It was the furthest the Miami men's basketball program had ever gotten. And it was going to be very, very hard, because in the portal, all the top guys are the most highly recruited players in the country. And NIL was then becoming a big factor, and so Norchad joining us and then Nigel joining us was huge, because not only were they able to fill Sam Wardenberg and Charlie Moore's shoes, but they able then to carry us not only to the Elite Eight, but then to the Final Four. And Norchad is a warrior, and he has shown game after game, season after season, what an incredible person and player he is. And Nigel was sensational in his last year, taking us to the Final Four, and unfortunately this year just hasn't been himself. Is not healthy enough to play like Nigel Pack can play. So if they move on, we would wish them all the very best. They're great contributors to the program. I love both of them. And I think if you remember when I think it was the Elite Eight game last year, when they left, Norchad gave me a big hug and Nigel gave me a kiss. And when they took the court tonight with their families, I told both of them that I love them, and I do. They've been a tremendous part of my life and the Miami basketball program.
Was Nigel hurt again at the first half that he didn't play? He was just kind of done for the...
Well, he has issues with both knees. I don't know which one he banged, but when he tried to steal that pass, he fell on the floor and banged one of the knees. Whichever one, I think it was his left, but don't quote me.
It kind of goes for either of you two, but I mean, Bensley, I know you haven't dealt too much with injury problems this year, but Norchad, I know you have, and on senior night to see Nigel, go through what he did, bang up his knee and sitting out the rest of the game, what did you from this team in total, not just Nigel, but everyone that's kind of dealt with these injuries, you know, how's it been this season trying to navigate those while, you know, still trying to focus what's going on the court?
I mean, injuries been tough all season long. You know, nobody expected after Nigel was out for so long, came back senior night, game against Boston College, and then get hurt. You know, that hurts. You know, I feel like it hurt me for him. I know it's not fun sitting out from injuries and then being out for so long and then come back and getting hurt. It's just tough, you know. Just gotta keep positive and a strong mentality.
For both of you, first of all, Norchad, congratulations on the Scholar Athlete Award. That's a very big award, so congratulations on that. Can you both just talk about the team's mentality, you know, from last year to tonight, the scene last night, and the scene last year, final season home game, and then tonight. How do you guys go forward with a positive attitude for the FSU game and for the postseason for the ACC tournament? What's the team's mindset coming out of this long losing streak for both of you?
I mean, just trying to stay positive as much as we can. You know, FSU, you know, we know that it's going to be a challenging one on the road. And, you know, we just have to stay as positive. But the main thing is getting healthy, getting everybody, you know, back 100%, which is Nigel. And then, you know, just the guys stepping up and, you know, making plays down the stretch, getting guys more confident. And, you know, just pulling more together as, you know, this keeps happening. But we have to keep looking on the bright side and the positive side.
Richard, what do you think?
Yeah, you know, since probably beginning of February, it's been tough, you know. Didn't win the game in February, come in March, first game, senior night, didn't get the dub. You know, adversity, we've been dealing with adversity all year. You just gotta keep, like what Bensley said, keep the positive mindset, because there's nothing else to do about it. Like, you know, the games we lost, you just gotta, you know, bounce back. That's all you gotta do. We gotta pull together and, you know, be a team. There's nothing that we can't just cry, complain. We can't do anything like that. We just gotta pull together and find a way.
Norchad, did you feel more pressure or anything with it being senior night, with your family being here? I mean, was it harder for you to focus on the game or anything with all of this stuff going on around?
Not really. You just want to get a dub, man. We haven't won in a minute. You know, just wanted to get a dub with me and my teammates. You know, it was just another game.
Norchad, can you put into words what this has been like, in particular these last 8, just to go through this, what this has been like?
It been rough. You know, I still, you know, I love my teammates. I enjoy this ride, even though it's not the way, you know, someone imagined it. But, you know, I love being here at the University of Miami. Been a tough ride, but, you know, you just got to stick together. The season ain't over yet. We still have postseason. So, you know, we just got to keep our head high and, you know, pull together.
Can you pinpoint what went wrong? You guys are up 30-20, up 10, playing well, and then it turned. Can you pinpoint what went wrong?
No, Boston College is a great team. They was hitting shots, you know. They move the ball. They get get people open. I mean, they were playing a great basketball.
Norchad, obviously, you know, you were celebrated here tonight on senior night, but, you know, there's still a lot of decision making whether what you return, come back, or so on and so forth. But if this is the last time you suited up here at the Watsco Center, what are your thoughts on your time here you spent in Miami?
Love it. I wouldn't change it for anything, if I'm being honest.
One more?
Just, have you made a decision?
Hmm?
Have you made a decision? Were you going into today thinking this is it?
I mean, I don't focus on the future. I focus on, the season's not over yet. I'm still focusing on Florida State, the conference tournament, so the answer would be no.
First of all, congratulations. Can you just talk about what you think the difference was? I mean, the first half, second half, you know, Miami was not playing great, but still in the lead at the end of the first half. And then what did you guys do? Were there adjustments at halftime? I think it was a 15-2 run to start the second half.
I thought the big difference from the first half and the second half, we did a better job of rebounding. They had some second chance points in the first half. That was a big part of their points. They had 32 points. I thought we were defending well. We knew we needed to defend well to have a chance to win, and they were hurting us under the glass. Second half, we cleaned it up, and I thought that's why our defense was a lot better in the second half.
Quinten, a good game for you. What did you see out of Miami's defense that allowed you to have 19 points tonight?
I think in the
in both halves, I hit a three. I think that kind of got me going early, and I think it helped us as a team too, especially in the second half. I feel like their bigs were kind of hesitant to really help on the ball screens because I kind of made a few threes, so I kind of spread the floor, I think, and for the rest, just tried to stay in the flow of the offense, and my guys found me in good spots, and so just tried to help the team play good basketball and work today.
Was there anything said at halftime that just absolutely flipped the switch and got you guys to properly execute in the second half?
I think I was in the bathroom, but Coach came in with a lot of energy. Usually he comes in a little later, but he came out right away, so I think that got the guys going. You know, like, we're far in the season, and I think what Coach has preached and what the team has preached is that we, you know, we don't lay down. We're here to fight. For me, I'm realizing that this is my last few games in college, and trying to not take it for granted, trying to play my heart out, you know, and trying to try to love on Coach, love on my teammates, and just play the game as hard as I can.
Coach, can you talk about UM, you know, last year Final Four team, they've really struggled, they've lost 8 in a row. What do you see different this year from last year, just as a spectator?
I mean, they got great players. Obviously, they got a legendary coach who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's been doing this for 50 years. He's been doing this longer than I've been living, so we got a great coach. You know, I mean, it's hard. This is a hard league. This is a hard league, so it's no games that you can show up that it's a give me. It's no handouts in this league. You got to play, you got to fight, you got to compete. And sometimes when you hit hard times, it may look like you're not playing good basketball, but it's actually the teams who are just playing a little bit better than you. So it's a fight on every corner. That's number one. I think that's the first thing. And then obviously, Wong was a big part of what they did too. But they do have a lot of good players. They lost some good players. I know they had some injuries and guys in and out of the roster. But, you know, that would be the only difference.
Coach, defensively, all 5 of their starters individually were under 50%. Just the shooting percent numbers weren't good. What were you guys doing? What were you pleased with defensively and slowing them down?
Well, we've been trying. We've been trying all year to be a good defensive team. That's part of our DNA. It's in us. You know, again, but these teams challenge you, they test you. And so we made an emphasis in the last 2 practices to try to, you know, be better in our ball screen coverage. We knew our defense would have to travel in order for us to have a chance. And we just played good defense. We played team defense today, and it was good to see.
Coach, you got one more game to end the regular season heading off to Louisville, a chance to make it 2 in a row heading into the ACC tournament. How important is that to be able to get the momentum going into the tournament, to be able to have that, you know, behind you going against these top teams?
I mean, it's very important. We want to be playing our best in March. We got a really good team. We're experienced. We got some depth. And we usually play great in March. And, you know, and so we hit a tough patch. We lost some close games to some good teams. But today was a big start for us in terms of trying to propel ourselves into the ACC tournament. We got 1 game left. We want to try to prepare the best we can so we can give ourselves the best chance to be successful. But we play good basketball this time of year, so we're excited. Happy we got the win, and we're going to try to finish strong.
All right, we're going to take 1 or 2 questions from Zoom. If you're going to ask a question, please use the hand raise button. We'll start with Dan.
Coach and Quinten, you know, there were times in the last couple of games where you'd be switching out different things from, you know, either partial zone or whatnot. Are there different things that now you're doing later in the year that are using different guys besides just different switches that we normally see?
Yeah, no, we're doing what we've done. We're doing what we've practiced all year. You know, we're a man-to-man defensive team. You know, we play some zone. You know, and we have different ball screen coverages. And we still in the pursuit of trying to be at the highest level we can be. We want to be at our best at everything that we do. Today was a good sign. You know, we had 2 really good practices. We worked hard. They were uncomfortable. And we got the fruit of our labors today. So we got 2 days before our next game. Try to be smart, try to prepare, continue to try to get better at all of the details on offense and defense, and see can we go play good basketball.
Jack?
But it's kind of a follow-up to that. Sorry, Mike. Do you feel that the team is now working, you know, more cohesive, more on the court when you guys are out there together?
Yeah, 100%. I think we're on one accord, like Coach said, we do a few different things, but I think a big thing is just to talk on defense, and I think we did that, and I think we played very cohesive on defense.
Jack?
You guys, so I don't know how you guys felt on the sideline, but watching that, it kind of seemed like a bit of a chaotic game, lots of missed layups, kind of weird turnovers. Do either of you find it kind of difficult to keep focused, stay on the game plan in a kind of a chaotic environment game such as this?
Typically, when you play Miami, it's a helter-skelter game. You know, they long, they quick, they force turnovers. They keep playing and try to block your shots. They got length, they got athleticism, they got speed. And they're always that type of team that can turn you over and force you into some bad decisions. I thought we did a great job today of taking care of the ball. We had 13 turnovers. We like to be under 12, but I thought we did a really good job of taking care of the ball. And the first half we missed some stuff at the rim. Second half they missed some stuff at the rim. But usually when you play them, it's to help to scale the game, and it's fast tempo and a lot of athletes.
We'll go back to Dan.
Guys, this is the first win in Miami since 2010. So I just gonna ask, this is just more of just an information question. What were you doing in 2010? That it's 14 years ago. Quinten, I guess this is more geared towards you. What was on the docket in 2010?
What was I doing in 2010? Fun fact about 2010, great year for me. The Netherlands, we were in the World Championship soccer. Beat Brazil in the quarterfinals, thriller. Beat Uruguay in the semifinals, best day of my life. And heartbreaker, lost in the last few minutes. Iniesta from Spain made the goal. But yeah, great day for the Netherlands. Great year for the Netherlands and great year for me. But yeah, not too much basketball related.